Tap my wrist, shoot my shot, take the yelling. In the fight, in my grind, I'm a villain. Money bags, body bags, make it killing. These on some dumb
Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial. 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial.
Alright, welcome back. Thank you for standing by. This is the Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. So, we're done with trends in the papers. Now we're moving on to Mainland Focus. Time check right now is 8:41 a.m. and my name still remains Mobolaand Sandra. I still have Fuhad Saheed with me via the phone line. And we have, of course, two focal points that we're going to be looking at this morning. The first, of course, is as regards the palliative, and then we're also going to be looking at the food security situation. That's the president declaring a state of emergency on food. All right. Yes. So that is going to be the focus, or those are the focal points for this morning. So I'll introduce the focal points, and then you can you can call into the show and share your thoughts and contribution as regards all of this. Please don't forget that we're live on Facebook and YouTube. So you can drop your comments in the comment section, live chat section of our Facebook Live as well. All right, and we'll also take it live. So you can call in or you can share your thoughts via Facebook or YouTube. But before then, let's introduce what the focus for this morning is. Now, we have two. I'll start with, of course, the major headline on the front page of, that's subsidy palliatives and National Assembly approval of 819 billion naira 2022 appropriation restructure. So that's the first part that we're going to be looking at this morning, and it's just very simple, just as I said earlier on, because we really like to get to the nitty-gritty of the conversation. So I'll just introduce what we're going to be looking at, the angles that we're going to be looking at it from, so you can share your thoughts. So what are your thoughts about these announcements from the government? Let me just remind us, just in case, the revised 819 billion naira 2022 supplementary budget is going to be divided as follows. 500 billion naira is going for palliatives. 185 billion naira is to fix roads impacted by flooding. 192 billion naira is to fix farmlands destroyed by flooding. 35 billion naira is for the NJC, that's National Judicial Council. 10 billion naira is for FCT projects. FCT projects, that's Federal Capital Territory. All right, projects in the FCT. And then we have the most interesting one of all is 70 billion naira for working conditions of the National Assembly. So that is how the members. Okay. It's not for the building. All right, thank you.
Members.
All right, so for the working conditions of the National Assembly members, all right, which we have about 400 or 400.
They are working very hard. Their working condition needs that money. They are working very hard.
That's interesting.
They are not been sleeping. They're working for the country.
They're trying. I mean, just yesterday, or 2 days ago, they approved, service chiefs. It's a lot of work.
A lot of work. Yesterday. It was yesterday. So they've been working. They've been working very hard.
So it's a lot of work to.
So they need the money. Their working condition requires that money.
It's all right. So what are your thoughts about these announcements from the government? What do you think about conditional cash transfer, saying that the money is from the World Bank, that's the 800 million from the World Bank, saying that it has to go to 12 million households.
Some of the funny thing, we have two money here we are talking about.
Yes.
From this 2022 appropriation, supplementary budget, there's 500 billion naira. That one is separate too. There's a loan of $800 million that have been approved.
That we're going to get again. Different.
There's no lump everything together. There's another 500 million for women empowerment. The World Bank has approved that too. We have not talked about that. That's
no, it's not yet. It's not yet conversation. It's not yet time. All right. Okay. So, but then the conditional cash transfer of 12 million households, thereby impacting 60 million individuals, which means that 8,000 naira for each household, which means that every day each household is expected to spend not more than 256 naira. Yes, that's the plan. All right, every day for each household, because if you're going to spend, this is what base. Because I'm trying to understand. So that is, you have 60 million individuals having to share 500 billion. Then you have 430 or thereabouts individuals having to share 70 billion. All right. So when you look at this, what do you think about the conditional transfer and the fact that it's going to be transferred digitally, and they said that the register is collated already. That's the data that's going to be used for. I mean, the people that are going
National
to
social register
it has already been collated. All right. So what do you think also about the 70 billion naira to the National Assembly and the other monies, as I've already highlighted? 500 billion for palliatives. That's the 8,000 naira that they'll be sharing. That's what the 500 billion is for. And they now have money to fix roads that have been impacted by flooding that was supposed to have been planned for since last year, because we had terrible cases of flooding. 185 billion naira to fix roads impacted by flooding. 192 billion to fix farmlands destroyed by flooding. 35 billion naira for the NJC, that's National Judicial Council. 10 billion naira for FCT projects, and 70 billion naira for working conditions of National Assembly members. So very simple. What are your thoughts about these announcements, and what do you think about the conditional cash transfer to the 12 million households, poor and vulnerable households? And then what do you think about the 70 billion naira to the National Assembly and other monies? Let's have a conversation. The second focal point, of course, is as regards the federal government, that the president declaring a state of emergency on food security in the country, food shortage, saying that now the president is planning on 500,000 hectares of farmland, orders year-round farming, to release fertilizer, grains to farmers and households, and also they also are going to have a conversation as regards transport for farmers, concessionary loans for farmers. There's a lot, that's going to be put in place. Irrigation schemes, also regulation. They're going to create and support a national commodity board that their job is to review and continuously assess food prices, as well as maintain a strategic food reserve that will be used as a price stabilization mechanism for critical grains and other food items. So through this board, the government plans to moderate hikes and dips in food prices. That is what the National Commodity Board would be about. So let's not even go into if there will be monies disbursed to them or not. So many things have been put in place. A lot of things have been put in place as regards the food, as regards food security. So what are your thoughts on the ideas listed by the government to tackle food inflation? Okay, so there's also going to be a synergy of some sort between the Ministry of Agriculture and the Ministry of Water Resources. Also this okay, yes, thank you. All right, so what are your thoughts on the ideas listed by the government, and do you have concerns about implementation, or you trust the government to do things differently this time, saying that they're going to provide security for the farms, for farmers to be able to do their job, to be able to carry out their businesses, and for us to have food that would not be just outrageously priced. All right, so with the rising cost of food and how it affects it, all of these things have been planned out. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Do you have do you think agree in line with it, or do you have an issue with implementation? Do you think that it will actually come through with all of these plans, or do you think they'll do something will be different this time around? All right, Fuhad, you just have a minute or two. Let's hear you, and then let's quickly.
I'll say all I need to say to the trends in the paper. I think I pretty much said all I wanted to say. So on the first issue, I'm sure that Nigerians are quite aware of the issues, and what I would say is that, look, as neighbors, as friends, as colleagues, as parents, as guardians, as family members, let's help ourselves. Let's help ourselves as best possible. If you have a car, for example, make sure that you assist people. Maybe your colleagues in the office. If you have the means, let's just help ourselves. Let's just take care of ourselves, really. Because again, from what the government is announcing, it's clear that we just have to help ourselves. We look up to God, and then of course look up to ourselves to be our brother's keepers. That's on that. And then on the issue of food security, again, we've had several announcements. We used to have Vision 2020. We changed it from Vision 2010 to Vision 2020, Vision 2023, and all of that. Mm-hmm. And so, we've always come up with lofty ideas, beautiful policies. But when it comes to the level of implementation, we always found one thing. So, a good idea from the government on declaring emergency on food security. We are hoping that it's not just going to be a mere statement. We want to see the government walk the talk, implement it, and then we can now appraise their efforts.
All right, thank you very much, Saheed Fuhad. Let's open up the phone line now. 0913 6000 410. 0913 6000 410. That is the number to call. For text messages and WhatsApp messages only, you have 0913 6000 430. 0913 6000 430. That's for text messages and WhatsApp messages. Okay, so you have for phone calls, that's 0913 6000 410. For text messages and WhatsApp messages is 0913 6000 430. You can as well drop your comments on our live chat on Facebook and YouTube. We're live, so please follow us, share the link, let's have a conversation about it. Drop your comments in the live chat section, and we'll also read that live at Mainland 98.3 FM. We're live, so you can watch the program live on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate if you can do that as well. Now, let's have a conversation. You have just 2 minutes. Please stick within the time frame and keep the conversation clean. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
And I'm going to forward your check up my body. I'm calling from Songo.
All right.
The issue of palliative I was first going to talk about is that this palliative issue, we have to be learning from the past. And in my area, I know two people that got that palliative. They got the studio was the sharing center, and it was still there for more than 600 or something studio. The only thing I can talk about it is that the people that were given to not deserve it. Landlords, I discovered from landlords who are discovered like me, so the two wives, they still got rights to get those services. And that is just to see that the pre vulnerable people did not get. So if that continue to say, no plan, they have no plan, they have no plan. I bet it that the court. So this thing, it's like you people are not working intelligently. Yesterday, anyway, they get same to get with foreign activity. And this man, you try to
I can't hear you, sir. I can't hear you, sir. Please, can you hear me now? Yeah, please repeat what you said.
Why I need this successfully? Hello? Are you hearing me?
Okay, we are with you.
Okay, so I did this successfully in this first time, and when it came for the second time, we did it successfully.
Are you comparing Ekiti State that has less than how many? Has less than 2 million.
The same party. That's what I'm saying.
We're talking about implementation to hundreds and hundreds of millions of people.
Look, I'm telling you, Alaka is from Ekiti State. And these statements can be copied. Lagos State has done so many things for other states to copy. Some you people are just, maybe because of Lagos mentality, God does not want to see anything right. He said there's no plan. Who told you there's no plan?
What exactly are you saying, Chief? What plan are you talking about? Wait, Chief, what plan are you talking about precisely?
The print media, they do research. No people in the radio don't do any research.
Hey, sorry, Chief, don't, even when you have supporters of government who just want to come on radio to support, they listen to come and argue in order to understand what you're saying. On the issue of food security, we're clear. It's about implementation. And we're waiting to see the government implement it. And I say it clearly. They listen to come and argue and defend the government.
Thank you very much.
You understand? Wait, let me just explain it. I said it clearly that, look, brilliant ideas from the government. We have to wait for the implementation. You understand what I'm saying?
It's not even just from you now, because I need to also understand. Maybe I said nonsense, because I need to understand how we got to, if it was a bad plan or not. The question
was a bad plan.
Do you have concerns about implementation? The idea in itself is not the conversation. We're not looking at if it is something that, what kind of idea?
You said it's a fantastic idea, Sandra. You said it's a fantastic idea.
We're looking at implementation of these ideas, and if you trust the government to actually do something
differently this time. The APPROPRIATION thing was a complete failure.
I don't understand how, the fact that...
They just need to come and argue and not support the government.
Thank you very much, Fuhad. I don't understand how...
Where is the result in Ekiti? You should tell us the data and statistics.
It's okay.
That there's food security in Ekiti.
It's all right. Thank you very much, Fuhad. I appreciate the passion. All right, let's move on now. Just as, Fuhad had mentioned earlier on, the core need of the people is food. We're looking at food. And there are a lot of things, ideas that the government has rolled out. Great ideas, but then can we trust them to implement
and then you
these ideas?
What is the question is you believe your government to implement it?
The question. So if you believe that the government can, tell us that yes, they can.
What the question?
It was done in so-so state, so that means it can be done in the entire country.
We don't do research.
So it's okay, for thank you.
Because some people are not in the process really.
Let's take to.
Did you talk about the foolish 8,000 that just been announced?
Be calm. Thank you very much. So we can go on to other calls this morning. Thank you very much. 0913 6000 410 0913 6000 410. All right, and then we are going for text messages and WhatsApp messages 0913 6000 430. Don't forget that we're live. Drop your comments in the live chat section as well. Thank you very much, Chief Akwaguadio. I think we have gotten your message loud and clear. All right, let's move on to the next call for this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Madam Sandra and my friend Fuhad.
Good morning, Mr. Oko.
Yeah, God bless you. Yes, on the issues we are discussing, I have my reservations. The ideas sound very good, as usual. But when we look at the antecedents of most Nigerian government programs and policies, you will find out that in a 3 years' time, we make a very good document for the history books because of our past experience. There is a very big trust deficit between the people and the government. Yes, both at federal and state level. Because the situation where you have a government, both at federal and state level, going to borrow money from banks, and you cannot find anything they did with it tangibly. Every state government, as we talk now, have billions of naira borrowed, and nothing that can be produced. For instance, my state, Delta State, we have 300 billion borrowed by the state government, and you go to the Delta State, you cannot see anything tangible to show for it. And that is why the governor of Delta State, Okowa, has been picked up by the EFCC last week here. I'm from that state. I'm talking on good authority. So we are not supporting any palliative at all because it's going to enter voicemail. Unless the government appoints a board of trustees, made up of people like Evolution and other notable Nigerians like Emeka Nyogu to be on the board of trustees to supervise these things.
Thank you.
We are not going to accept it.
Thank you.
Then the issue of agricultural establishment. Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Sandra, good morning.
Good morning, Don Peters.
Good morning, Fuhad.
Good morning.
Sandra, where can I buy?
Your voice sounds very distant. Could you? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Please, where can I buy lake rice?
Lake rice.
Please, that's a pyramid rice in Abuja. Sandra, please, where can I buy them?
They finished it. We only saw pictures.
I think it's a rhetorical question.
I know.
There is some reasons why I'm asking. Because somebody called to attack Fuhad and tell us that something had been implemented. When this lake rice was everywhere and people were advertising it, people were talking about it, we did not see it in real life. The Abuja pyramid rice, they tell us that government have given us food sufficient. We are unable to see the rice to buy. So what is people attacking Fuhad for? People are stating the obvious here. Government have lied to us in different ways and in different times and in different moments. And we keep believing them. And some people are supporting us to continue to believe lies and deceit and propaganda. It's quite unfortunate that we are doing this to ourselves as a nation. Sandra, I still stand my ground on this 8,000 naira. When it was a rumor, I told you something on this platform that Nigerians are not lazy. Nigerians are only looking for enabling environment for us to work and providing for ourselves. You now giving people 8,000 naira. Believe you me, you will create a problem in this country that will not be solved in the next 100 years. That money to create a enabling environment for people. That is what we want. And what the government is doing this, may there be sincerity of purpose. There is no fault in what will happen that have been analyzing. All the one have been following you everywhere I go. Every damn thing you have been saying is spot on. But some people want to guide us to believe propaganda, to believe lies, to believe deceit, and we cannot accept that, and we will resist this as a people because we know where they are heading to. The next thing is dictatorship. For us to be dictated by our mind, for us to believe their lies and propaganda. And we can never agree on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I said the last money they shared in Ogun State, 600 people got it, Abby. 600 people in Ogun State. And he's proud to come and say that on radio.
I don't know what to make of that. Let's
go
back to that. I'm from Ogun State, and I have quite a number of family members there. So, but let's.
No, it said 600. I think I heard him say 600 people in Ogun State. 600 people in Ogun State, and he wants to go and say that on radio.
Deyemi Saka is from Ogun State, and I don't think I know anyone that he knows. It's alright. It's okay. Don't let anyone take your teacher from you. Let's see what we have on Facebook. We have some messages here. Chris Oloja says, good morning, house. I weep for this country in the light of this wanton and reckless funds appropriated to the National Assembly. And he also said, Fuhad, I have been listening to analysis on radio. Mainland FM is top notch with Fuhad. Okay, thank you. We also have here Joshua from Oregon. Good morning, Sandra and Fuhad. When we were against the president choosing National Assembly leadership, supporters of Mr. President said he needs people that will support him, not against him. They have started approval upon approval. If you're talking about real vulnerable people in Nigeria, none of them have accounts. So I served in one of the local government in Zamfara. What concerns those people with account number? As it stands now, who is not vulnerable in this country? Someone that's earning 35,000 in this country, in this current situation, is he not vulnerable? The National Assembly members are also vulnerable, and they have to take 70 billion naira to help themselves. Why will they have to remove this subsidy? What's wrong with subsidizing if that's what will make the lives of the common man bearable? And that is Joshua Andover from Oregon. I also have Obiora Ezechuku. Good morning, Sandra. This palliative is not for the general people, it's just for party members. Maybe it's the only way to empower the grassroots APC members. I'm not in support of this idea. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. I also have we have Dayo Dada has a lot to say. Good morning, crew. The foundation of a good leader is known by his character, attitude, selflessness, transparency, easily accessible, giving policies that would move from consumption to production, cutting cost of governance from top to bottom, create policies that will change people's life positively, don't need vote buying, and he said a whole lot, don't continue on formal tax master legacy, come to debates to we have moved on. But the reverse is with okay. Thank you very much, Dayo Dada.
I think there is a problem with Dayo's message.
Yes,
it's struggles to
it's not.
this is radio. You can always present your, your ideas, your comments.
Unfortunately, this is on Facebook, so anybody and everybody can have access to it.
Read it out.
No, we can't.
Radio friendly.
No, we can't. It is not radio friendly. Let's move on to phone calls now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to Lady Sandra.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
How are you today?
I'm well, thank you very much. You have just 2 minutes.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
God bless all of you. See, number one, the 800 naira, what they call it, 8,000 naira, I agree with the money. Number two, when you see those the poorest of the poor in this country, the majority of them, 90% of them, they don't have master account. So I want you all Nigeria who can get the phone number of Mr. President to tell you, say, the majority of us we are doing this money. Channel the money to the very thing in the mental yesterday. You said the market or agriculture, isn't it? And that is fantastic. Now, the federal government conjoined with the state government, the local government, they have to do something about it. The subsidy you take from fuel, take it to the agriculture. I don't know if improvement to unite the farmers by feeding storage in every local government. Every local government is not storage, big by the federal government or state government. So when farmers go to the land, grow their crop, buy it over and store for the rainy day. That's one of the better things to do. And again, the federal government said they have some land to grow some crop. Now, very good. It will go around all local government stations. And again, I want to suggest again for palliative. Why can't they allow food to come in Nigeria for 6 months? So by the way, before our own food gets ready, the one they brought from abroad is pushing the last year personal staff. So that is how it's supposed to be. Federal government has a lot to do pertaining to agriculture in this country. And the state government, the local government, and all of us will join hands together. But spending money, no, I shall agree. Instead of that, public transportation, cheap transportation is the key to pushing the effect of this Good morning to you all. Let me stop here.
Thank you very much, Prince Wise. Prince Wise is the opinion that, if you're going to feed someone, it's better to teach the person how to fish than to just keep giving the person.
Put the money in agriculture. Not about that. Good
morning, Mr. John.
Good morning, Mr. John.
Don't get worked up. We know them by their food. We shall know them. We know them. We know government food figures. We know government apology. They will never reason properly with their head. They think we are illogical and unreasonable in this country. What are from all those states? Is still having a food bank? You should tell us. You should tell me. What to Ekiti state? Go to those states. Go and witness the kind of poverty our people are facing. What is he saying? Who are these people? Maybe they can bubble up with and congestion. Things that does not work. If these things are really fake, because that's the time you examine. Thank you. Good morning.
I think we should just calm down. Really.
All right, it's okay. Thank you very much, Mr. John. Let's take 2 pills. This is 10 minutes past 9. You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The conversation is around two focal points. We're looking at food security, food shortage, as the president declares a state of emergency, and there's ideas that have been rolled out. Release fertilizer, release grains. Also plans to provide 500,000 hectares of farmland so that they can for livestock farming, for ranching, irrigation, and all of that. There's a lot that they are putting in place, to ensure that we don't have a problem with food. Let there not be famine in the land. But then the question or the angle we're looking at it from is implementation. All right, can we trust the government to actually implement all of these ideas? They're great ideas, laudable ideas actually, but can we trust them to implement them, or are we going to see something different from what we have been seeing or hearing before? The second one, of course, is as regards palliative and the 819 billion naira revised supplementary budget, and the fact that 500 billion naira is going for palliatives, 185 billion naira is going to fix roads that have been impacted by flooding, 192 billion naira to fix farmlands that have been destroyed by flooding, 35 billion naira for the National Judicial Council, 10 billion naira for FCT projects, and a whopping 70 billion naira for working conditions of our National Assembly members. What are your thoughts? 0913 6000 410. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
This is Oluwaseun, calling from Lagos.
All right, Oluwaseun, please go ahead. You have just 2 minutes.
Okay, sir. My own thinking is that you don't expect to get much from these people because I see them as set of skilled people.
No, hold on. Leave what someone else has said. Let's go on to your own contribution. Let's focus. All right.
And the issues. Really.
Yes, on the issues at hand. Thank you.
Okay, based on the issues at hand. What I understand is giving palliatives to people is not the way out, because we can more invest on the aspect of preparing our refinery for the future purpose. We can open our borders within 6 months or so to pushing the effect of shortage of food that we are having now. And we can also invest to electricity, and this can also help at least for small businesses, at least for them to have power and for more production. So the aspect of people expecting that this money will be given to the poor people, I'm not sure it's going to happen, because poor people, most of these people don't have account number. So the fact is, we need to think about the future and have good plans for each other. That's what I have to say.
Thank you very much, Oluwaseun. I appreciate. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is DG calling from Kola.
Okay, DG, please go ahead.
I will say something on this meeting. Please, we need more time for this kind of program. Nigerians need to be enlightened. Like we see the kind of people are talking on the radio, you know that people need more enlightenment. This is not collectively, I know that we are joking in this country. When the show country show out only for 70 billion naira for 400 questions, and you allocated 500 billion or almost 50 million, then the things that are we going in this country. So I can say, 200 naira cannot even feed a person a day, talking about announcements. Then that is why it is not, that's why we have a problem. The people that are sitting at the there. I don't know what they are planning. I don't know what they are thinking. Every day they keep on giving us speech, and they want us to believe them. This country should be far ahead of all this rubbish. They don't be looking to the offices in other countries. This is our fault. This is very, very our fault. Thinking of anything, just think of anything and say it anyhow. Once we establish this, we can even tell you what to do so far in the sky. That's what I'm saying. People fly anyhow. And they don't think of how it is to teach the human master. I hope God will just save us in this country. God is watching them. It will keep on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so apparently, from DJ's point of view, there's still a severe trust deficit, issue there.
Are you blaming?
No, I cannot. But then, speaking as regards, more conversations like this. By 4 p.m., Okwemi will open up the phone line again in a situation room, so you can, and it's open mic. Today is Friday; it's open mic, so you can share your thoughts as well. And I'm certain that this 70 billion working condition National Assembly is going to come up on political roundtable on Sunday. I'm looking for.
My cousins have been calling me, but I'm busy. I can't even pick his phone.
For this particular,
sending messages to me.
Nobody said anything about the fact that we have 400 people that would share 70 billion, and then we have hundreds of millions of Nigerians.
The one you just started.
That they just started 2 weeks ago, and then you have hundreds of millions of people who have to share 500 billion. So I mean, the calculation is interesting for me, and I'm wondering how we're comparing, the entire 36 states and the FCT compared to a state that has under 200.
What will happen in Ekiti? What is the data? What's the food sufficiency level in Ekiti State?
It's all right. Let's move on. 0913 6000 410. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Sandra.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to Fuhad.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, my name is Dampi from Igondo.
All right.
Please let me first, quick one. Nigerians beggars, are we beggars? What are they using 8K to say they want to share to people? Can 1,000 feed a person in this country, this present regime? They are fighting for 400 people for 70 billion naira. This is to show that these people don't know us. They are fighting for their pockets. They are not here to do anything for us. It is just for their own pocket. Now they remove subsidy and they are fighting for their pocket to increase their own salaries. You see, I'm tired of these people. I'm just tired. That man that called first time, I'm not here to insult him. Let me say something. I'm not insulting anybody. Maybe he did not explain very well. You cannot just come on radio. How would you come and insult a journalist? You know what it is to be a journalist? These people don't sleep. They read in the midnight before they come to the radio. And you are there talking anyhow. You think it is easy? I'm not here to defend Fuhad. I don't know him anywhere. He's just here. People should mind how they talk. If I mention one radio station, if you try this with them, immediately they cut you off. They don't have that time. This radio station, they accommodate people the way people talk. This radio, you cannot try this in some radio station. If you don't make rubbish, they don't cut you off immediately.
Thank you.
People mind how they talk.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate. 0913 6000 410. That is the number to call. Hello. Good morning.
Sandra, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Peter.
Yeah, blessed are those that will never be deceived or be cajoled by a group of people that have deceived us for 8 years ago, and now they change their face and then want to deceive us again. Blessed are Nigerians that will not listen to them and will not believe in them. And blessed is people once say that will never take them serious for anything they tell us until they have told us all this kind of sharing of money by people. After traders' money, after the money they share, then more than 133 million Nigerians are multiplicatedly poor, and they have saved the money, and they want to do it again. Nigerians, this is where we see ourselves. But let's pray God will help us one day. And they themselves will leave this world one day, we will leave this world one day. What they're supposed to have done is what they're doing now, medicine after death. If they don't know that they would remove post subsidy, why didn't they put the plan in place? It was to go in June, and we removed it in May. That 1 month, why did you not leave it to take in June and put things in place to pushing the effect? Nigerians, please don't believe these people. They just wait for the day they will intervene for us. We cannot do anything. Plus, go ahead. I never knew that we were whatever. I never knew, nobody had ever told me. You are the only one that. Every time on your radio, you talk about the masses. And we commend you for that. And today somebody is saying something. I don't want to attack anybody, but God will bless you for what you are doing. continue your work. Sandra, go ahead. Have a nice weekend. Thank you.
And you too, Peter Monso. Thank you very much. I think it's because we had the Lagos for Lagos guy, in our studio some months ago. Maybe that's why. But
I'm a Lagosian and a proud one at that.
You should be, as you should be. Unlike some of us, sometimes we have to hide because we're not really happy with what's happening in our state.
Not happy with what is happening in Lagos. So I'm happy.
But then I'm proudly from Ogun State, proudly from Yewa North, probably a minority in my state. And that is a thing to be proud of. But then, that is the reality of political standings, in different places. Yeah, so I mean that's how it is in my state. Okay, fine, that's where I was born. I'm proud of it. But then that shouldn't be used, against someone just because. Well, let's move on. I have some messages here that there are a lot actually. Good morning, Sandra and Fuhad. This is WhatsApp. The issue is even with the 8K, but will it get to the vulnerable and the poorest of the poor? Knowing fully well that our countrymen and women are wonderful people, because to be honest, the best palliative is a long-term gain. And the poorest of the poor may not have the stamina to wait for long before we start seeing the gains. Another palliative I think the government can offer is access to healthcare services and education. If these are taken care of, that will be off the needs of the vulnerable, and they won't need to bother about those needs again, rather than the conditional cash transfer that will open room for racketeering. For the money going to National Assembly, it's a shameful thing. We are being told to make sacrifices, but our leaders are still going with the largesse from the government. It's sad to see these things happen. Welumi Lawrence from Lagos. I also have good morning. I am Sam from Magodo. Nigeria government don't care about its citizens. How can a government share 8K each for each household, knowing how cost of living is in Nigeria? And some people call legislatures are sharing 70 billion. I saw you. This Akpabio-led National Assembly will impoverish more Nigerians. This is just a continuation from the previous administration. It's quite unfortunate. Thank you, Sam from Agodo. Good morning, Mainland FM. The tragedy of subsidy removal is that those who are beneficiaries of subsidy payment are still in corridors of power and are going to continue to enjoy whatever government has saved from its removal. Our common enemy in Nigeria is corruption, and it is unfortunate we don't have politicians who are ready to sanitize our public system. How can my name too appear on social register list? Go and pray, because the list is already collated.
Sorted already.
We are from Bagada. I don't know where the list is, but I will check.
You want the 8,000. I'm sure you are not one of the vulnerable Nigerians.
He's vulnerable. How do you know?
You can send text messages. I'm sure you own a smartphone.
What if it's on borrowed Wi-Fi?
That way, maybe. But you have a smartphone.
Please. I'm on the advocate of vulnerable because I'm a vulnerable person. Ajibola Fuhad, good morning. My contribution is simple. Can you see how they have shared the money amongst themselves? The problem of this country is the politicians. They have been working against Nigeria. Tell me, how much is 8,000 naira?
Per household.
Is this not mockery? Mr. Ondubisi, I think I agree with you. From Igondo.
Remember that the Nigerian woman said there are people who need 5,000. That 5,000 is huge.
It's huge money to some people.
So that's the thinking pattern too.
All right. Good morning, Sandra and Fuhad. On palliative, it's a complete waste of time, and I don't know when this administration to Babalajo of this country. But for subsidy removed for us to share unevenly later, what about the pains and agony of poor Nigerians and what they may likely continue to go through in the future if all this nonsense continues? What about our refineries? What about the well-being of Nigerians? Honestly, this government is absolutely clueless. On shortage of food, it is a brilliant idea, but from set of untrustworthy minds. Tell them to protect the lives of Nigerians first before sending them farmland for mass burial. Will this government handle insecurity in the land? Wow. Damlola from Alaba. Thank you very much. Appreciate. Sandra, if the security in this country, only Benue and Taraba alone can feed Nigeria without stress.
If you know the potentials of the farming potentials of the North Central, from Benue to Taraba State to Plateau State, not to talk of the Northwest, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kano. we can feed ourselves. There's a opportunity for self-sufficiency. You have to walk the talk. That's what we're saying here.
That's what Joshua from Marigun is saying, that Sandra, if security is good in this country, only Benue and Taraba alone can feed Nigeria without stress. So I would prefer this government to channel their strength on security and forget sharing of money. The whole Benue have how many local governments? Sorry, in the whole of Benue, how many local governments have banks? You know, Benue was one of the governors that came out and said, please, this cash sharing that they are doing. No, I mean the Dara redesign plan, saying that they don't have enough banks in Benue State.
A lot of states too.
So how would they withdraw?
Like I said, they use PS and they still remove charges. So
good morning.
They are left with 7,005 at the end of the day.
How can they share 8K to the poor people? Can 1,000 naira feed a person in this nation this time and day? I think with you buy Abala.
We're talking of the household here, Sandra.
Buy Gary.
So you know what
they make soup. They make okra.
No, I think we should just,
like
again, like I said, I'll still maintain, let's just help ourselves.
There are 400 people about to share 70 billion, and we are still watching them. This is to show they are after their pockets. I'm tired of this nation. Big Dan from Igondo. Thank you very much. Good morning, Sandra and Fuhad. I'm wondering why Fuhad is angry about the 70 billion naira approved by the National Assembly for themselves. It's called rub my back and I rub your back. Or how else do you want the legislators to be appreciated for a job well done? Sandra, should we accused Ahmed Lawan's Senate as being rubber stamp? Don't worry. Akpabio has started telling us that Lawan was just a Lena. Okambelina from Mafoluku. Thank you very much. Sandra and Fuad, I greet you patriotically. I've listened to Mr. Dele Alake and it sounds good to the ear. I like the declaration of emergency on food. I like the immediate plan to boost agriculture, but I don't like the plan to give 8K for 6 months to what they term poorest of the poor, because it does not make any economic sense. Instead of sharing money like Father Christmas, that a large portion of it is likely to miss in transit, why not channel this 500 billion, the $800 million, to reduce cost of food items that can be afforded by the same poorest of the poor?
I wouldn't put it on tertiary education.
Mr. Fuad, which is better, to give me fish or to teach me how to catch fish?
We'll teach you, definitely.
So what happens after 6 months? What about security for farmers instead of clearing more lands? What about people like me that have no job? I think this is a good economic policy. I don't think this is a good economic policy. Reduce cost of cooking gas. Everybody should be palliated. Mr. Fuad, calm down. I got your back, and don't let anybody forget. Make you okay. I'll buy you bread and ewa going. I will be the one to eat it. James Ogbona from I just tell you, I will be the one to eat it.
Sandra, in 1 week I've done 50,000 of oil in my car. So if you
just 1 week
in 1 week,
so how are you not vulnerable? Are you not vulnerable?
You're extremely vulnerable now.
People think that poor means somebody that does not have money.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sandra and Fuad. I haven't listened to your paper review, particularly on the issue of sharing cash to the poor or poorest as a means of palliative. It is a complete misplacement of priority. How can government inflict stress and hardship to citizens even more than before? Construction of refineries is the way out. Food security without routing to insecurity is a mere academic exercise. Noah from Igondo. Great ideas, but if insecurity is still persisting, that's what
This is the implementation that we're talking about.
That's basically it. All right, and let me wrap things up with messages from Facebook. It's so interesting that we couldn't even take so much calls. But then the juice of it is that Okwebi will be opening up the phone line by 4 p.m. So you can continue the conversation there. All right, I also have Chris Ewalen on Facebook. Is saying, good morning. The so-called palliative the current government is proposing is not going to solve the problem of the teeming masses that the Tinubu-led government has plunged into deeper poverty. The money budgeted for palliative should be deployed into provision of energy, provision of energy, and above all, refineries should be fixed. Otherwise, the humongous amount budgeted will be looted and nothing will happen. Canon Simon Ikpimoye, the best palliative is to increase the minimum wage from 30,000 naira to 50,000 naira and massive palliative for agricultural implementation. unfortunately, that is all we can take. We have so many messages, so many calls are still coming in. I sincerely apologize. However, please stay with us by 4 p.m. with Okwemi in the Situation Room. It's open mic, so you can inundate him with as many calls and messages as possible. The entire 1 hour is for you to share your contributions. Okay, and don't forget that conversation as well continues on Twitter at Mainland FM. So you can just hashtag Mainland Focus. All right, and then share your thoughts. We'll read them out much later on other shows as well. But stay with us. Coming up next is ArcView Half Hour, and then after that we have Health Plus with Sage Babalola. In the meantime, thank you very much, Fuhad, Saheed.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. All right.
Thank God it's Friday.
Take 2 pills.
It's okay.
All right. And someone should send me 8,000. I don't know what I'm doing. No, please, just put my name there. Ajibola is the surname. Thank you very much. Just be on the lookout. All right. Stay with us. This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.